What's up, everybody? You know who I be, and today I bring to you one reason why your favorite NBA team won't win the 2018 NBA championship. The 2016 and 17 NBA season was boring. We all knew it would be the Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals, and we all knew that the Dubs would capture their second championship in 3 years. 2018 promises to have a bit more of an open field, as every team has at least one issue to overcome, and only one of these 30 teams will conquer their biggest battle. The Atlanta Hawks lost depth. Did any team have a worse offseason? Star scorer Paul Millsap went to Denver. Shooting guard Tim Hardaway Jr. joined the New York Knicks. They had to get rid of the overpaid yet productive Dwight Howard. There's no way Atlanta is a contender at this point. The Boston Celtics, LeBron James. The Celtics acquired Kyrie Irving, but they basically made LeBron James and the Cavs a lot better in that trade. The Celtics always have issues getting past LeBron, so tough to see it changing now. The Brooklyn Nets, bad management. The Nets have awful management. They made a horrible trade with the Celtics that cost them chances to draft a guy like Jaylen Brown or Markelle Fultz. They can't draft or recruit free agents very well either. The Charlotte Hornets, a lack of depth. Kemba Walker is a very good player, but the supporting cast around him isn't even close to championship caliber. And any team that Dwight Howard has ever played on has never won a title. The Chicago Bulls, talent? What talent? The Bulls made the right call trading away Jimmy Butler while also cutting ties with Dwayne Wade. It was smart of them to begin a rebuild, but it's going to be a long and painful process. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Warriors. What else can we say? They're going to run away with the East, and there's only one team better than them. The problem? The Warriors look pretty much unbeatable with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. The Dallas Mavericks, no talent. Credit Dirk Nowitzki for being able to play at a decently high level this late in his career, but the Mavericks are lacking talent around him, and he's still their best player, and that's the problem. The Denver Nuggets, no depth. Paul Millsap was a great pickup, but other than that, the Nuggets are devoid of both depth and a good bench. The Detroit Pistons, a one-man team. Andre Drummond is one of the top defensive players in the NBA, but this superstar has no supporting cast around him. The Golden State Warriors, more super teams. The Warriors inspired other teams to go big or go home in the offseason. The Rockets got Chris Paul to complement 2017 MVP runner-up James Harden. The Thunder got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony to complement Russell Westbrook. The Minnesota Timberwolves got Jimmy Butler to help out Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. The Boston Celtics also picked up Kyrie Irving. The Cleveland Cavaliers got Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, Isaiah Thomas, and Jay Crowder. Yep, these teams are all gunning to take down the Warriors. The Houston Rockets, the Warriors. The Rockets have the potential to be the second best team in the NBA. Only problem is, the Warriors are kind of a lot better. The Indiana Pacers, bye-bye Paul George. The Pacers traded away Paul George in the offseason. Paul George was their only good player. No championship. 1 + 1 = 2. That's quick maths. The Los Angeles Clippers, better call Paul. Deciding they didn't want to lose him for nothing, the Clippers traded Chris Paul to Houston. And I don't care how great Blake Griffin is, they're not good enough to win a title. They weren't good enough with Chris Paul, so they definitely aren't good enough without Chris Paul. Los Angeles Lakers, Lonzo Ball isn't the GOAT. Sorry, LeVar. We don't really need to explain ourselves here. The Memphis Grizzlies, just not that good. We love Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, but the Grizzlies are on the decline, and their window to win a championship has closed. They saw teams like Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and Houston get much better in the offseason. The Miami Heat, lacking star power. Miami has very solid roster depth, but guys like Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside just aren't on the level of the NBA's elite players. In the NBA, star power trumps teamwork. The Milwaukee Bucks, a one-man show. Giannis Antetokounmpo could soon be the best player in the NBA, but who's his sidekick? The man is great, but he can't beat teams like the Cavaliers, Thunder, or Warriors on his own. Minnesota Timberwolves, young and wild. The Timberwolves brought in many new faces, including superstar Jimmy Butler. But the T-Wolves are a fairly young team with too many new players that need time to gel together. This team is going to contend for a lot of titles, but it won't be in 2018. The New Orleans Pelicans, the Wild Wild West. Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins are both stars. The only problem? They need another star. There's no way they get through the demanding Western Conference with all these super teams. The New York Knicks, goodbye Carmelo. Mr. Carmelo Anthony was the heart and soul of the Knicks franchise for several years. Then, they traded him to the Oklahoma City Thunder this offseason. They'll miss him, and they won't be winning many games without him. The Oklahoma City Thunder only one ball. Can notorious ball hogs Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook peacefully coexist? And what about Paul George? Having a big three could also be a big problem at times. The Orlando Magic, no real magic here. Sorry, Magic fans, but we don't know of any Magic spells that turn a bad basketball team into a champion. The Philadelphia 76ers, the process isn't done. We've raved about the 76ers young core here many times. Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz will be studs. The only problem is they're young and they need time. Give them till about 2020. The Phoenix Suns, Steve Nash retired. The last time the Suns were good, Steve Nash was on the roster. He's been retired for a while now. The Portland Trail Blazers, Damian needs help. Damian Lillard may be one of the flashiest and most dynamic players in the NBA. He also doesn't have much of a supporting cast. All the top teams in the West do though. Give Portland a high five if they make the playoffs, but the finals, not a chance. The Sacramento Kings. The Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2006. They already traded DeMarcus Cousins. The rebuilding process is far from done. Don't even think about the playoffs, Kings fans. The San Antonio Spurs, injuries and age. The Spurs are getting old. Tony Parker's not a sure thing to stay healthy, and neither is Manu Ginobili. They'll need to overcome injuries and the age factor if they want to take down the mighty Golden State Warriors. The Toronto Raptors, the Cavaliers. Toronto picked up 50-win seasons in 2016 and 2017, but Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan just can't get through the obstacle that is LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Tough to see that changing this year too, so it's the same old story for the Great White North. The Utah Jazz, free agent losses. The 2017 offseason was terrible for Utah. Franchise star Gordon Hayward signed with the Boston Celtics. Point guard George Hill joined the Sacramento Kings. There's just no making up for those key losses. The Washington Wizards, the Big Third. John Wall is one of the top stars in the game. Bradley Beal is a great sidekick to Wall also. But who's the other third of their big three? The answer, nobody. Cleveland, Boston, and Toronto all have 3 key players on their rosters. Washington doesn't, and this won't help them get through the Eastern Conference, let alone to the NBA Finals. Why do you think your team won't win the NBA championship? Join us in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.